For this picture, I don't want to talk about apertures or f-stops or focal length or anything like that. Really, I want to talk about, sort of step back and talk about how photographers can use the tools at our disposal to not just document the world around us, but create an intentional feeling or impart something to our viewers. And what you've got here is a tire between two trees. And I saw this scene, and I took this picture intentionally because I wanted to see if I could use the tools at my disposal to not manipulate. That's too strong a word, but I wanted to kind of see what would happen when people saw this photo. This looks like it was taken in some sort of third world country where there's no money for basic services. In the foreground, there's some what looks like concrete, and there's a big crack, and there's these dead trees, and this scene conjures up some images in my mind about what you might think is taking place here. In reality, nothing's actually happening quite so dramatic. It's actually just the playground at my kid's school. And this is sort of one side of the playground. Right to the just behind this, the trees that you see in the background, they're the outdoor playground at the school. And so there's nothing. It's just a suburban playground. It's really kind of boring. On the left-hand side, you can't see it, but there's a water tower. And on the right-hand side, there's a jungle gym. Right behind me is a basketball and tetherball. And so my son and I were out here, and we just went on a bike ride. This is about, I don't know, a mile from our house maybe. And I saw this scene, and I thought, man, this looks like something that isn't really what it is. And the scene looks like something that is not what you would find in city limits in a normal everyday town in Oklahoma. And so it got me thinking about the power that photographers wield and the way that we make these design choices, essentially about what focal length do I use? Where do I stand? What do I point my camera at? What shutter speed do I use? All these decisions we make have consequences in terms of how our scene is interpreted by our viewers. And we can take something like this. I could have stood at a different angle, taken the same picture from a slightly different angle, and would have had a totally different connotation. And it just kind of got me thinking, this humble little scene of a tire on the ground got me thinking about the power that photographers have. And we have to use that power to, I don't like getting up on a soapbox, but I do think it's our responsibility to use this power wisely and not deceive anyone and present an accurate representation of reality. That being said, I, like most other photographers, maybe that's my way of justifying this, I also use not Photoshop, but I manipulate photos. Like I pulled out the colors, I dropped the black levels, and I upped the highlights. I adjusted the tone curve. I added a little vignette. So there's not just the scene itself, but the editing decisions that I made affected this photo. And so the photo in and of itself is not like a masterwork or anything. It's just a picture. But it did get me thinking about this power that we have as photographers and how we should use that power responsibly.